Hi and welcome back to my channel. So it's finally time for Christmas videos. I have held off until we got closer to Thanksgiving because I just don't want to take away from the beautiful season that Thanksgiving is. But I'm so excited to share with you all of the things that I've picked up this year for Christmas decorating. I always go into it thinking, oh, I'm not going to get that much stuff, but gosh, when you put it all together, it looks like a lot. So bear with me as I go through this Christmas haul, but hopefully this inspires you to take a look at the items that you have in your home and maybe go out into the stores to see what is available. And I always like to do a mix of vintage items and newer items and DIY items. So you'll see in my haul, that's really what I'll be showing you today. So I don't really have a rhyme or reason to how I've got this organized, but I'll show you what I picked up and where it came from. So we'll start with some Dollar Tree items, and hopefully your Dollar Tree still has these items available. I've picked them up over the last couple weeks, but certainly items at the Dollar Tree go very, very quickly. So the first thing that I found were these bottle brush trees, flocked, and I thought these were a great find for the Dollar Tree. Normally they're just kind of the cone-shaped ones. This one has some shape and texture to it, which I really liked. So that was my first find. I did pick up 2 of those. I also picked up a couple of packages of ornaments. I really like these for bowl filler. I may throw a few on the Christmas tree as well because I really like the color of these. I got kind of the champagne and silver glitter. Glitter and I don't get along, so I like to keep them in a bowl so it stays a little more contained. But I picked up those. And then the last thing that I picked up at the Dollar Tree were several different picks. And I thought these were really pretty, especially for picking them up at the Dollar Tree. So I got a handful of these and also these berry stems. So I got these. I really like the idea of doing some bowls, Christmas bowl arrangements with some ornaments and some greenery, pine cones and berries. And so you'll see that on my home tour, several different things that I'll be doing in wooden bowls this year for my decor. I really want to keep it looking natural and just full of the evergreens and beautiful things that you can find at Christmas time. So that's the overall aesthetic for my Christmas decor this year. And then I'll have some golds and brass and silver mixed in. So I'm thinking it'll be really pretty. The next things I want to show you I picked up at Big Lots. And I don't honestly do a lot of shopping at Big Lots. It's kind of out of the way from where I'm at, but I'm glad I went because I found some really great things. So one thing I wanted to find this year were some glass Christmas trees. And I had Mercury glass in mind, but I found this. It's actually a candle topper. And I thought it was so pretty that I couldn't pass it up. And it was really reasonably priced. I think I paid like $7 for this. So that will be really pretty. And I look forward to seeing what it looks like when it's all lit up with the reflection of the light on the glass. So that should be just beautiful. I also picked up an outside doormat, and I've never had a Christmas doormat before, so I found this one. And gray and blue isn't traditionally what I decorate my porch with, but I like this so much I couldn't pass it up, and the ones that were red I didn't like as well, so I might figure out a way to add some blue in outside, but if nothing else, I really liked this doormat. And this one was $14. So then I'll show you just one thing that I picked up at Amazon this year. Yes, I fell into a trend. Usually I try to avoid that. But I loved the trend this year for antique bells. And so I ordered these off of Amazon to make a Belle Garland. And it has two different shapes. They're fairly small. I wasn't quite sure from looking at the pictures online and even the description. I wasn't sure how big these would be, but I'm glad they're the size they are because I think this will make a really pretty garland. So there's these ones that are kind of more cowbell shaped. And then these ones that are more cone shaped. And these remind me of my childhood because my mom had a Belle Garland with these little cone-shaped antique brass bells, and it's something that definitely says childhood Christmas to me. So then we'll move to items that I picked up at Walmart, and I just got a couple of things, but they are definitely noteworthy. First off, always go to Walmart for the basics. I got some snow. I flock my own tree and my own garland. So it's a messy project, but here's how I justify it with myself. If I got a pre-flocked tree, it would make a big mess too. So flocking my own tree, I can put tarps down and try to contain it a little bit better, and I don't have to worry as much about the flocking going wild. So and the other thing is with flocked trees, sometimes they're too heavily flocked for what I like. So this way I can control the flocking. So, snow. I also picked up these kind of navy blue, cobalt blue ornaments. And as you know, I have a blue chair in my front room, and I always am trying to match the decor to the chair. And so for this year, I actually bought a new Christmas tree for our front room. I haven't had a full-size tree in there ever. And so this year I said, okay, it's time to get a Christmas tree for the front room. And I needed some bigger ornaments because I've always had a miniature tree in there. So I found these. I thought they were gorgeous. They're the shatterproof. They were only $5 for a dozen. And I really like too that they have so many different shapes and textures. So that was the selling point for me on these ornaments. And finally from Walmart, and this is absolutely my favorite find this year, is this large piece of wall art that has Isaiah 9:6 on it. And I plan on hanging this above my entry table. This was $15, $14.88. So I was so happy to find this. I think it's beautiful. And I really look forward to having this in my decor year to year. All right, one more thing that I picked up before I get into the DIYs is I did buy a new tree topper this year. And this was not a splurge, it could have been a splurge. I looked online for quite a while, probably a good week or so. I was searching for the perfect tree topper that I really wanted. We've had a plastic tree topper, and then last year I DIY'd a tree topper, but I really wanted to find something that I love that I would want to use year after year. And so I found this one at Home Depot, and I actually found this. It's so funny. I was with my dad at Home Depot buying decking for their backyard, and while he was doing what he was doing, I said, give me just a minute, I'm gonna go look at the Christmas stuff. And I came across this and I knew that this was the one I had been looking for. So I'm really, really looking forward to putting it on the tree, plugging it in, seeing what it looks like. But this is exactly what I had in mind when I went looking for my tree topper. And it was really reasonably priced. I think I might have paid $15 or so for it. It might have been a little bit more, a little bit less, I can't quite remember. But definitely compared to some of the tree toppers that I was looking at online, the price was perfect. So my tree topper. All right, so then we'll get into some of the DIY projects that I've been working on. So one thing I wanted to do is put some kind of a bauble tree out in my planters out front. And so I went to the Dollar Tree and picked up a bunch of random ornaments and put together this bauble tree. Silver and gold. Like I said, it's not going to match my new doormat, but I can get past that. The next DIY items, I made a couple of different types of Christmas trees. So these I made simply out of tag board and coffee filters, and then I have one that's made out of tag board and rope. And this is how they turned out. It's pretty time consuming, and it certainly takes a lot of glue, but I thought these turned out so pretty. So you simply just cut the center out of the coffee filters and layer and glue, and that's really all it is. I made these fairly large because I wanted them to go on the bottom shelf of my console table, so I was fitting them to that. But I definitely think going together, they look beautiful. I made one a little bit smaller and put a star on top. But I think all three together will look really, really pretty on my console table. And the great thing is they nest inside each other, so they're not too terrible to store, even though they're pretty big. And then I have one thrifted item that I wanted to show you, which was this Mercury glass bowl. I plan on putting this inside my hutch with a lot of other greenery and some other white dishes and holly. So I think that'll be really pretty. This is just a great little thrifted find. I think I paid $1 or $2 for this. But because I saw this, I also wanted to DIY a Mercury glass bowl. So this is how it turned out. And I thought this was so cool. And I made some ornaments that look the same, that match this. So I will show those to you in just a minute. I'll show you how to make this Mercury glass. But before I do, I wanted to show you one other, not thrifted item, but a hand-me-down that I got this year. And I'm so glad I have this. So I went recently and spent some time with my mom and my grandma. And I had every intention on going on Amazon and buying something like this because this just screams my childhood Christmases. And when my mom found out that I wanted one so badly, she gave me the one that she had that at some point in time my grandmother had given her. And so this has been in my family for, I don't know how long, 50 years, 60 years, maybe longer. And it's such a simple thing, but it is a Swedish angel chime. And because I have some vintage brass candlesticks, I thought this would go so well with them. This to me represents the magic of Christmas because I don't understand what causes this to work. But when you light these candles, the heat from the candles causes the little fan to spin and the little angels to spin, and they hit these little chimes. And I remember seeing this every Christmas as a child and being so excited when Mom would light it and it would spin around and it would tinkle like Christmas bells, and it was just Christmas to me. I don't know if these aren't as popular now because people are leery of keeping lighted candles in their homes. I kind of laugh a little bit because we we had these lighted candles right next to that angel hair. Remember that stuff that was made out of spun glass? Probably not that safe around children, but we never thought anything of it. But you can buy these new on Amazon for literally $12. And I had every intention on doing that, but this one means so much more to me because it was the one that I fell in love with as a child. So that is my Christmas haul, and we'll start decorating soon. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. I'll show you the DIYs and then we'll come back. All right, so all I have is just a regular glass ball, and I just did a really light little spritz of water and vinegar mixed inside it. You can see there's still some water droplets. I tried to get as much out as I could because the more water, the harder it is for the paint to dry. I kind of found that out the hard way on my last round. So then I have two different kinds of spray paint. I have Rust-Oleum. This is champagne bronze and just the regular Rust-Oleum metallic. And then I had some of this on hand as well. Metallic paint primer, satin nickel. Honestly, this didn't work as well because it's thicker. So I would recommend just going with a regular silver spray paint if you've got that. I do like how this has so much shimmer to it, which was really pretty when it was done. But it's just a little more difficult to work with for this project. So then what you'll do is just put a couple of spritzes of your spray paint in here. And I've kind of learned less is more. And then a couple of spritzes of this. And then you're going to want to shake it. Try to get it coated pretty well on the inside. And you may have to do a handful of coats of this just to get the opaqueness that you want. So for now, I'm just gonna shake it, kind of roll it around. You can see the silver and the gold are kind of combining, which is just gorgeous. And then I just happen to have these little terracotta pots, and I'm just gonna let this kind of leach out a little bit. And then after it dries, I came back and did another coat. So you can see this is how this one turned out. Almost like evergreen leaves. It's so cool the way that one worked out. It's a little more silver. And this one is a little more blended. So I like how unique it is that they all look a little bit different. This is where I had it sitting while it was drying, so that's where being completely upside down is really helpful, so you don't get big splotches like that. And you could do this with any color spray paint, really. But I think the metallics turn out so pretty. So as you can see, this year I'm trying to keep Christmas simple. And that to me was what Christmas is all about. It shouldn't be overly complicated or overly overwhelming. It's really just about keeping things simple and elegant and giving nods to the beautiful season that Christmas is. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, that you'll subscribe to my channel and encourage your family and friends to do the same. We have a lot of fun here on my channel, and I look forward to showing you how I've decorated my home in a simple and elegant way for this Christmas season. With that, I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll see you again next time.